The great hall of the Galactic Council sparkled like 1,000 stars. Its crystal walls reached so high that the ceiling disappeared into darkness. At the center of this massive room, High Counselor Gray stood straight and tall, their silver robes flowing around them like liquid metal. 3,000 years of peace had made the council soft. They spent their days in endless meetings about trade routes and proper greeting protocols. But today was different. Today, they had found something that scared them. Humans. High Counselor Gray said the word like it left a bad taste in their mouth. They achieved faster than light travel yesterday. The council members whispered among themselves. Some pulled up holographic displays showing Earth, a small blue planet that looked rather ordinary. But what wasn't ordinary was how quickly humans had developed. Just 200 years ago, they were still burning fossil fuels and fighting among themselves. They are dangerous, Gray continued, pacing back and forth on the floating platform. Look at their entertainment. They make jokes about everything, even death. They laugh at danger. They turn their greatest fears into what they call memes. This is not normal behavior. One of the council members, a being made entirely of light, raised their hand. But they haven't attacked anyone. They haven't even met us yet. Gray clicked a button, and the room filled with images from Earth's history. They fight wars, and then make movies about those same wars. They create weapons, and then use those weapons in sports. Their children play games about conquering worlds. Everything is a joke to them. Everything is fun and games. We cannot allow such an unstable species to join galactic society. The council chamber grew quiet. In 3,000 years, they had never faced anything like this. Other species were easy to understand. They either wanted trade, territory, or technology. But humans? Humans seemed to want to have fun. I propose we end our peace, Gray said firmly. We must stop them before they spread their chaos across the galaxy. Their very existence threatens our way of life. The council erupted in shocked gasps. End the peace. The peace was everything. It was what made them civilize, what separated them from primitive species like humans. Look at their response when faced with disaster. Gray displayed more images. When their cities flood, they make boats out of cars and have races. When storms destroy their homes, they have parties in the wreckage. When faced with a deadly virus, they created millions of jokes about it. This is not rational behavior. The evidence was clear. Humans were different, and different was dangerous. One by one, the council members voted. The decision was unanimous. High Counselor Gray raised their arms dramatically. Let it be recorded. For the first time in 3,000 years, the Galactic Council declares war. We will show these humans that the galaxy is not a playground. We will teach them the proper way to behave. As the council members filed out of the Great Hall, none of them noticed the small cleaning drone in the corner. Its camera blinked once, twice, and then it zoomed away through the service tunnels. Deep in the maintenance sector, an old mechanic named Tom watched the drone's recording and started to laugh. Oh boy, he wiped tears from his eyes as he sent the video to his cousin on Earth. These aliens have no idea what they're getting into. The message would take 3 days to reach Earth. 3 days before humanity would learn that aliens existed, that there was a galactic council, and that this council had already declared war on them. 3 days before Earth would give its official response. High Counselor Gray expected fear, panic, or anger. They had prepared for emergency broadcasts, mass hysteria, and military mobilization. They had plans for every possible human reaction. But they hadn't planned for laughter. They really should have planned for laughter. Captain Tom Miller sat in his command chair aboard the Earth exploration vessel Laughing Matter, drinking coffee from a mug that read, "World's Okayest Captain." The ship's name was painted in bright colors on its side, with a small smiley face dotting the letter I. It wasn't the most professional-looking ship in Earth's fleet, but it was his. "Captain," his first officer Robert called out, "we're picking up some strange readings ahead." Tom took another sip of coffee. Define strange. Like that time. We thought we found aliens, but it was just a space whale with gas. No, sir, much stranger. It looks like, well, it looks like 1,000 ships just appeared out of nowhere. The crew watched in amazement as their view screen filled with vessels of all shapes and sizes. They were beautiful, gleaming like jewels against the black of space. And they were all pointing their weapons at the laughing matter. Neat, Tom said, putting down his coffee. Anyone know how to say hello in alien? Before anyone could answer, the main screen lit up with the image of an alien commander. The being looked almost like a human made of silver metal, with eyes that glowed like stars. Primitive human vessel, the alien spoke in perfect English. I am Admiral Blue of the Galactic Council Fleet. We have come to end your chaotic expansion across space. Surrender immediately. Tom looked at his crew, then back at the alien. Have you heard about Ligma? Admiral Blue blinked their glowing eyes. What is Ligma? Ligma balls. The entire bridge crew shouted in unison, then burst into laughter. The alien commander's face went from silver to a dark gray. This is not a joke. We are declaring war on your species. Oh wait, I've got something for this exact situation, Tom said, reaching under his chair. He pulled out an old DVD labeled Emergency First Contact Kit. Hey Admiral, since this is such a special occasion, I'd like to share some of our culture with you. Before the alien could refuse, Tom started broadcasting. The fleet's communication channels filled with what humans considered classics. Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up, Nyan Cat, Dancing Baby, and a compilation of cats knocking things off tables. What is this madness? Admiral Blue demanded. Oh, just getting started, Tom grinned. Here's a personal favorite. Charlie bit my finger. The alien fleet remained frozen in space, their sensors overwhelmed by the stream of Earth's greatest memes and viral videos. Some of their junior officers had already started humming Never Gonna Give You Up. You dare mock the might of the Galactic Council? Admiral Blue was shaking with rage. Mock? No way. We're honoring you with our finest cultural artifacts. Here's one called Double Rainbow Guy. It's a masterpiece. The alien commander slammed their fist down. Enough. You will face the consequences of your insolence. I face the consequences of your insolence. I'm Dad, Tom replied instantly. Several alien ships in the back of the formation began to drift out of position as their crews struggled to maintain composure. The dad joke had hit them hard. This is psychological warfare, Admiral Blue declared. All ships, retreat. They're too powerful. As the massive alien fleet began to turn away, Tom called out one last time. Wait, you haven't even seen Keyboard Cat yet. The Laughing Matter's crew watched as the fleet disappeared into hyperspace, leaving behind only a few confused communication boys that were still playing Nyan Cat on repeat. Tom picked up his coffee again. Well, that was fun. Robert, send a message to Earth. Tell them we made first contact, and it went exactly as we planned. Also, attach all the memes we just used. The War Council might need them. Already done, sir, Robert replied, trying to stop giggling. Should I include the video of the alien commander's reaction to the dad joke? Obviously. That's going in humanity's greatest hits collection. The emergency meeting chamber of the Galactic Council looked like a giant fishbowl turned upside down. Earth's ambassador Jack Stone stood in the center, wearing his lucky Hawaiian shirt under his official diplomatic robes. He had chosen the one with dancing pineapples, believing it would help lighten the mood. High Counselor Gray stood on an elevated platform, looking down at Jack with all the warmth of a frozen planet. Around them, hundreds of alien representatives watched from their floating seats, their expressions ranging from curious to outright hostile. Ambassador Stone. Gray's voice echoed through the chamber. You are here to answer for humanity's insulting response to our declaration of war. Jack nodded seriously, though his pineapple shirt ruined the effect. Yes, about that. We received your declaration. Very formal. Nice paper quality, too. Did you know someone made it into a paper airplane? Several council members gasped in horror. Gray's metallic face darkened. This is exactly the problem. You treat everything as a joke. Our declaration of war was met with memes. Jack helped. Really good ones, too. My favorite was the one where someone photoshopped your face onto the "This is fine" dog. Very artistic. Silence. Gray thundered. This is a formal diplomatic meeting. We demand you take this seriously. Jack tried. He really did. But the whole situation was just too funny. Here was an advanced alien civilization, throwing what basically amounted to a galactic temper tantrum because humans weren't scared enough of them. He started to chuckle. The chuckle turned into a giggle. The giggle became a laugh. Soon, Jack was doubled over, tears streaming down his face, his laughter echoing through the massive chamber. Every time he looked at High Counselor Gray's increasingly angry face, he just laughed harder. This is unprecedented, one council member shouted. He's clearly insane, another added. Actually, Jack managed between fits of laughter. This is a perfectly normal human response to stress. We laugh at scary things. It helps us cope. Cope. Gray's voice dripped with disdain. You cope with a declaration of war by making jokes. Well, yeah, Jack wiped tears from his eyes. What else should we do? Panic. That's boring. Besides, have you seen our history? We've been preparing for alien invasions for centuries. We have like 50 different movies about it. Speaking of which, Jack pulled out his tablet and projected a clip from an old movie where humans defeated aliens using a computer virus. See, we've been rehearsing for this moment for ages. Though I got to say, reality is funnier. The council chamber erupted in chaos. Some representatives were demanding immediate military action. Others were secretly trying to watch more Earth movies on their devices. A few in the back had started a betting pool on how long the war would last. High Counselor Gray raised their hands for silence. Ambassador Stone, you leave us no choice. Your species' inability to show proper respect for warfare leaves us with only one option. Oh. Jack raised his hand like an excited schoolkid. Let me guess, you're going to wage war extra hard now. Exactly, Gray declared triumphantly. Cool, Jack grinned. Just so you know, we've already turned your declaration of war into a musical. Want to hear it? Before anyone could stop him, Jack played a viral video where thousands of humans were dancing and singing about the alien invasion, complete with choreography and a catchy chorus about making friends with grumpy aliens. This meeting is over, Gray shouted, but it was too late. Several younger council members were already tapping their feet to the beat. As Jack was escorted out, he called back over his shoulder, Hey, if anyone wants to join our aliens invading, time for dancing TikTok challenge, just send us a message. We're very inclusive. The last thing he saw before the doors closed was High Counselor Gray trying very hard not to move to the rhythm of the song. The human colony on Mars wasn't much to look at. Just a collection of domes and tunnels where about 10,000 people lived. But today, it looked different. Very different. Huge colorful banners hung everywhere, reading things like First Alien Invasion, 2475, and Welcome to Mars. Free snacks for invaders. A massive billboard displayed under new management. Just kidding, in bright neon letters. Someone had even set up a popcorn stand near the main airlock. Commander Red of the Galactic Forces stared at the scene through their ship's viewport, completely confused. Their fleet of 500 warships had just dropped out of hyperspace, ready for their first ground invasion of a human settlement. But instead of panic and chaos, they found a party. Sir, one of their officers reported, the humans are broadcasting something on all frequencies. Play it, Red ordered. The ship's speakers crackled to life with what sounded like festive music. A cheerful human voice announced, Welcome to the first annual Mars Invasion Festival. We've got games, prizes, and a special Conquer Earth simulator in Dome 3. All invading forces get a free I tried to invade Mars and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Red slammed their fist on the command console. This is not how invasions work. Launch the ground forces immediately. 5,000 alien troops descended on the Mars colony in their fearsome battle armor. They expected resistance, fortifications, or at least some crying. Instead, they found humans taking selfies with them. "Oh my gosh, your armor is so shiny," a small human child said to a confused alien soldier. "Can I get your autograph? My friends won't believe I met a real alien invader." In Dome 2, someone had set up what they called an invasion rating system. Humans were holding up scorecards to rate each alien soldier's entrance on style, scariness, and cosmic flair. 7 out of 10. An old man announced as a particularly large alien stomped past. Points deducted for not having a cool catchphrase. "Haven't you guys watched any Earth movies?" The alien command center was flooded with confused reports. "Sir, they're offering us snacks. The humans want to know if we'd like to join their conga line. Someone just challenged me to something called Dance Dance Revolution. They're giving out participation trophies for the invasion." Commander Red watched in horror as their perfectly planned military operation dissolved into chaos. Some of their soldiers had already taken off their helmets to try the popcorn. Others were busy trading selfies with humans for those promised t-shirts. "This is impossible," Red screamed into their communicator. "We are here to conquer you." "Oh, is that today?" The colony's governor replied casually. "Sorry, our calendar said alien invasion, but we thought it was more of a social call. Would you like to reschedule? We're free next Thursday." "You cannot reschedule an invasion." "Well, that's not very flexible of you. No wonder you've been at peace for 3,000 years. Your scheduling is terrible." The final straw came when a group of human children started a game called Tag with some alien soldiers. The fearsome warriors, who had trained for centuries in the art of war, were soon laughing and running around like kids. "Retreat," Commander Red ordered in desperation. "All forces, return to ships immediately." As the alien forces scrambled back to their vessels, many of them carrying souvenir t-shirts and half-eaten bags of popcorn, the humans waved goodbye and shouted, "Come back soon. Next time, we'll have a bouncy castle." In orbit, Commander Red looked down at the Mars colony, still bright with its festive decorations. They had lost their first battle against humanity without a single shot being fired. Somehow, that made it even worse. Should we mark this invasion as? Their assistant paused, searching for the right word. Postponed. Red just stared ahead, already dreading having to explain this to High Counselor Gray. "Mark it as inconclusive, and get rid of these t-shirts." Admiral Mary Wilson stood in Earth's main military command center, but it didn't look very military anymore. The usual maps and battle plans had been replaced with what looked like party decorations. Computer screens showed funny cat videos instead of weapon systems, and in the corner, a DJ was setting up their equipment. "Is Operation Party Crasher ready?" Mary asked, adjusting her uniform that now had a smiley face pin on the collar. "Yes, Admiral," her aide replied. "All ships are equipped with the special weapons you requested." Mary smiled. After the Mars incident, Earth's military had completely changed their strategy. Why fight with guns when you could fight with fun? "Begin Phase 1, she ordered. Across the galaxy, Earth's ships started their attack. But these weren't normal warships. Each one had been painted in bright colors, with names like Joke's on You, Fun Times Ahead, and Party Boat Alpha. The first target was an alien military base. As the alien soldiers prepared for battle, their communication systems were suddenly filled with Earth's most powerful weapon: dad jokes. What do you call an alien with 3 eyes? An alien. Why don't aliens eat clowns? Because they taste funny. What's an alien's favorite sport? Spaceball. The alien commanders tried to block the transmissions, but for every channel they closed, Humans found 2 more. Soon, some of the younger aliens were secretly writing down their favorite jokes. Phase 2 began when Earth ships started delivering what they called care packages to alien vessels. Each package contained party hats, bubble wrap, which turned out to be dangerously addictive to aliens, and instruction manuals for human games like Simon Says and musical chairs. "Sir," an alien officer reported to their commander, "the humans are challenging us to something called a dance-off for control of this sector." The commander slammed their fist down. "That's ridiculous. We will not participate in such." They paused, watching their crew already practicing dance moves. "What are you doing?" "Research, sir. Know your enemy." Phase 3 was the most devastating. Earth started broadcasting its comedy shows on all frequencies. Alien crews who had never known entertainment beyond military drills found themselves binge-watching sitcoms. Work efficiency dropped to 0, as aliens argued about plot twists and character development. Admiral Wilson, a communications officer, called out, "We're getting surrender requests." Sort of. Sort of. Well, they're not exactly surrendering. They're asking for shore leave on Earth. Something about needing to know if Ross and Rachel end up together. Mary nodded seriously. "Grant all requests, and make sure they get the complete Friends box set." The Galactic Council was in panic. Their fearsome military machine was falling apart. Alien soldiers were requesting transfers to cultural study positions. Battle fleets were organizing movie nights. Someone had even started an intergalactic meme competition. "This is working better than we expected," Mary said, watching the reports come in. "Any word from High Counselor Gray?" "They sent a message calling us chaos agents and destroyers of proper military protocol. Also, they want to know if we have more bubble wrap." Mary looked at the star map, where more and more alien ships were showing up as friendly, not because they had surrendered, but because they had joined the party. "Send a message to all alien vessels," she ordered. "Earth is hosting a galactic talent show next week. Grand prize is a lifetime supply of bubble wrap and all seasons of Earth's best comedy shows." The response was immediate. Thousands of alien ships changed course for Earth, their crews already practicing their acts. "Ma'am," her aide said, trying not to laugh, "I think we just won a war by turning it into a party." Mary pinned another smiley face to her uniform. "No, we just reminded the galaxy how to have fun. The war was just an excuse for the biggest party in human history." High Counselor Gray's flagship, the Serious Business, drifted through space, surrounded by their last loyal fleet. Most of their other ships had mysteriously developed engine problems that could only be fixed at Earth's repair stations, where they all seemed to get stuck watching human entertainment. "Status report," Gray demanded, their metallic face showing signs of stress. "Not good, sir," their officer replied. 70% of our forces have gone on cultural exchange programs. The rest are showing signs of humor infection." "Humor is not infectious." Gray slammed their fist down. "It's a weapon, a human trick." Just then, their sensors detected a small ship approaching. It was painted like a rainbow and had "Laugh Factory" written on its side in glowing letters. A single human was piloting it. "Greetings." The human's voice came through their speakers. "I'm Bill Roberts, retired comedy club owner. Heard you folks needed some cheering up." Gray stared at their view screen in disbelief. "One ship? You dare approach our fleet with one ship?" "Well, I would have brought more, but everyone else was busy with the Galactic Karaoke contest. You should see the Centaurians try to sing Sweet Caroline. Hilarious." Before Gray could respond, Phil started broadcasting. But instead of memes or jokes, he began telling stories. Funny stories about his old comedy club, about the times things went wrong, and everyone laughed anyway. Stories about how humans learn to find humor in their darkest moments. "You see," Bill explained, "laughter isn't a weapon. It's how we survive. When things get scary, we tell jokes. When we're sad, we make each other laugh. It's not about not taking things seriously. It's about staying sane when things are serious. Despite themselves, Gray's crew found themselves listening. Some even chuckled at the funny parts. "Stop this at once," Gray ordered, but their voice lacked its usual authority. "Oh, that reminds me of the time I tried to stop a laughing contest," Bill continued cheerfully. "Turns out, telling people to stop laughing only makes them laugh harder. Kind of like trying to not think about pink elephants." Speaking of which, one by one, Gray's crew members started laughing. It began with small giggles and grew into full belly laughs. Even their most disciplined officers couldn't help themselves. "This is mutiny," Gray shouted, but they felt something strange happening to their own face. The corners of their mouth were twitching upward. "You know what your problem is," Bill said kindly. "You've forgotten how to play. 3,000 years of peace, and you never learned to have fun with it. That's not peace. That's just being frozen." Gray felt something wet on their metallic cheek. They'd reached up and touched it. A tear, but not a sad tear. They were laughing. For the first time in 400 years, High Counselor Gray was laughing. "There you go," Bill cheered. "First laugh's always the hardest. Now, who wants to hear about the time I tried to teach a robot to tell knock-knock jokes?" "Me," shouted Gray's entire crew, including their security team. Over the next few hours, Bill Roberts held his most unusual comedy show ever. The fearsome alien flagship became a comedy club, with officers wiping away tears of laughter and sharing their own funny stories. By the end, even Gray had removed their formal robes, sitting cross-legged on the floor like everyone else. "I don't understand," they admitted to Bill. "We declared war on you. Why respond with kindness?" Bill smiled, "Because making enemies is easy. Making friends is more fun. Now, want to hear what happened when an alien walks into a bar?" "Is this another joke?" "Nope, it's what actually happened at my club last week. Trust me, once you hear how the alien tried to order a drink." And so, the great alien war reached its breaking point, not with a battle, but with a stand-up comedy show in space. The largest comedy club on Earth wasn't built to host a galactic peace conference. Its walls were covered with pictures of laughing humans. Its tables still had rings from countless coffee cups, and the stage had seen better days. But today, it was making history. Representatives from every alien species sat in the audience, many wearing casual Earth clothes instead of their formal robes. Some were even wearing novelty t-shirts with Earth jokes printed on them. The air buzzed with excitement, and the sound of different species sharing their favorite funny stories. High Counselor Gray stood on the stage, looking very different from the stern leader who had declared war. They wore a Hawaiian shirt. They had borrowed the idea from Ambassador Jack, and had actually painted a small smiley face on their metallic cheek. 3,000 years ago, Gray began, their voice carrying through the club. "We thought we had achieved perfect peace. We created rules for everything. We removed anything that could cause disorder. And in doing so, we forgot something important." They paused, looking at the diverse crowd. "We forgot how to live. We forgot how to grow. We forgot how to laugh." In the front row, Bill Roberts nodded encouragingly. Next to him sat Captain Tom Miller, Admiral Mary Wilson, and Ambassador Jack Stone, the humans who had turned a war into a party. "Humanity," Gray continued, "didn't ruin our peace. They showed us that real peace isn't about being serious all the time. It's about being able to laugh together, to share joy, to find light even in dark times." A young alien raised their hand. "Is that why we're signing the peace treaty in a comedy club?" "Exactly." Gray smiled, something that now felt natural to them. "And speaking of which, why did the peace treaty go to the doctor?" The room went quiet. Gray was attempting their first public joke. "Because it needed a signature." The audience erupted in groans and laughter, not because the joke was good, it wasn't, but because the mighty High Counselor had tried to tell a dad joke. Even Gray laughed at how bad it was. "See," they said, A month ago, I would have considered this failure embarrassing. Now I know that sometimes the worst jokes make the best memories. The actual signing of the peace treaty was unlike any diplomatic ceremony in history. Instead of formal speeches, each species shared a funny story from their culture. Instead of military parades, they had dance contests. The humans taught everyone about humor, while the aliens shared their own forms of joy that had been forgotten during their too-perfect peace. "There's one more thing," Gray announced after signing. "The Galactic Council has created a new position, Minister of Laughter, and we want Earth to fill this role." Ambassador Jack stepped forward, his pineapple shirt somehow looking perfectly appropriate now. "We accept on one condition." "Name it." "The first meeting has to be a pie-throwing contest." Gray pretended to think about it seriously. "Acceptable, but no lemon meringue. I'm allergic to citrus." The whole room lost it. An allergic robot telling a joke about pie. It was perfectly silly, and that's exactly what made it perfect. As the celebrations continued, Bill Roberts watched from his old spot behind the bar. Aliens and humans were teaching each other games, sharing stories, and creating new jokes that only made sense if you knew both cultures. "You know what's funny?" Admiral Mary said, joining him. "We actually did end up conquering them." Bill raised an eyebrow. "Oh, yep. Not with weapons or war, but with something stronger." She gestured to the room full of laughing beings. "We conquered their hearts with joy." The party lasted for days. News spread across the galaxy that peace had been achieved not through serious talks or strict rules, but through shared laughter. Other species started remembering their own forgotten jokes, their own ways of finding joy. And so the Great Galactic War ended with the biggest punchline of all. Sometimes the best way to make peace is to stop being so serious about it.